build a project car, they said. Build this big flipping huge power forged engine, they said. Do it. Don't do it once, do it twice. I should have learned, park it, don't do it, leave it for the next person. Buy a car, buy an already built car, because this is blowing my head. Let's have a look, shall we? Fucking hell. Oh yeah.
Number 3 is flat. Staying open. To give it a clean.
Okay, so you would have seen the little time-lapse video which I've done. So yeah, check out this. This is a one-off, bespoke, one-of-a-kind, custom, top-feed fuel rail with 1000cc injectors. We're all paired up and machined up with all the bits and pieces on it now. You've seen a little clip of Hope tightening the alternator. James is putting the plugs on now. You can see this is so bespoke. We've had to literally shave back a little bit there just to get the plugs in. This is going to be a real tight fit by the time we get the inlet on. But yeah, it's going to be one of, well, probably one of 2 or 3 cars I've only ever seen with that original inlet and a set of top feed injectors. Okay, so as far as anything custom goes, it's never straightforward. So the inlet manifold has had to take a modification. If you know what these inlet manifolds look like, I'll flip you around and show you another one. We've got to take a bit of a section out because the fitting for the fuel line to the rail won't fit. So we've had to cut this section out. I'll show you on my other inlet manifold now. That would have had a section which would have been, hold on, so yeah, when the fuel rail is on, I'll show you, we wouldn't have been able to access the AN fitting, which would have been a disaster. And just to fit that in context, and do that grinding and cutting and smoothing out and a bit of black paint to tidy it up, we've had to remove a throttle body too, so it just wasn't a 2-minute job. You think it's like a 2-minute job, but a 2-minute job of fitting the rail and the inlet and the injectors is more like a 3-hour job. So yeah, time drags, but you've got to do it right. Yeah, the big blower is on. Woohoo! It's an amazing, neat job there. James has done all the wirings for the plugs. I can't remember how to say it, douche connectors or Deutsch connectors, whatever. I'll do, I've used it on my rad. But yeah, this is what we're using to run the wiring for the plugs. And the reason before that is, once these are fitted and the inlet, you're not going to be able to get them out. So this will be beneath and I will plug then direct to the loom of a car.
See how tight they are down there?
Yeah, look at that. That ain't coming out. So, well, look at that one. Yeah. But they're on and they're on, they're on. So test fit now, you can see they go down there. No pressure. Wiggle, wiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
Well.
It's coming together now, mind. That is a good looking engine. Oh, look at that. So yeah, that is what we needed. And look, this is like really strong heavy duty standard aluminium. That ain't gonna need the additional bracket in there. I'm assuming it was put on a factory just because they had some time to waste. But yeah, that now fits lovely and neat. Quite a big looking engine for a 2 litre, this is mine, isn't it, when you look at it like that. Compared to the modern age engines. You can see it, yeah, definitely. Happy days, yeah, we can run with that. And then obviously we look at the wiring and stuff when it's on the car, how we are going to get its fuel rail, where's the right angle, where's the straight, etc. Happy with that all. It looks nice and neat, much neater than the old installation, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I think we've done a better job. These are James's maths, his diagrams, all that he sent off. And yeah, we've had a custom fuel rail as a result. And that's nice and neat now. It's all been sanded down so we don't cut ourselves. Yep. It's a good one. Gentle. And on with the inlet. So yeah, there's the fuel rail down here, and obviously we've got the top feeds, but it makes the build look more built. Where before it had a big blower on it and it had all the internal forging and all that kind of stuff, ARPs, all fancy bits. With a multi-layer sealer, gasket, blah 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 blah. Now looking at it, it is more of a bespoke looking engine, and if you have a look under the bonnet and you know one of these engines, you think, ooh, that's a bit different. It doesn't come with one of them normally. It comes with side feeds, which you're limited to the injector size, which again, you're limited to power. But yeah, nice, happy with that. Good work, James. So just for context, that is very, very snug. Just tightening up this inlet manifold now. Okay, so not long now. Engine on stand, let me flip you around. So yeah, turbo, heat blanket actuator, alternator, manifold, water pump, dipstick, coil packs, inlet, injector rail, engine mount, need to move a little bit. Yep, all on ready, and the sump is on. It's a dry engine right now, so we have no oil in it. Tomorrow morning, we need to finish replugging the loom for the new injectors. Look, it's dark out now, we need to stop playing, cars are taking over life. Get this out in the morning, get the injector plugs in, get it up in the air like we just don't care, and do some more fuel rails, whatever I need to do. James will come down, we'll get the box on, we'll get the clutch on and a flywheel, and yeah, it's pretty much putting it all back together, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get a start up. And boy, I'm excited. Everybody is asking about this. I felt it was never ever going to happen, but it is. So please, if at this stage, put in the comments, cross your fingers, and hope for me that we don't have a bad experience again.
One eternity later.
Okay, it is the day after, and you'll see the car is up in the air like you just don't care. Does anybody else get anxiety trying to wobble a car up on jacks to get on all four? When I do wheel refurbs, whoa, fries me. Yeah, you know it's safe, you think it's just going to drop on you. So what I need to do is get underneath the car. I want to extend one of the fuel lines I made. I need to change two little ferrules. I've put some PTFE on the rail as well in readiness for the ANs. And then just waiting for James. I think that's pretty much me done. Oh yeah, I've put the engine hooks back on, the eyelets. You'll see I've put the PTFE down here. So we don't get any leaks. Make sure when you're doing this you don't get any on the actual lip, because that's what seals. We just don't want anything running out. So I need to tighten this one. I then need to lengthen this one, and I need to change the ferrule in the end of this one, because you probably could get away with using it, but I don't want to risk that. So we know this one will definitely fit the fuel rail, no problem. So yeah, let's take this off next and do the line. Super important, we'll never start the car if it's not charged. It's literally taken me about an hour and a half to do 2 fuel lines. What I will say is, if you are going to buy the braided stuff, okay, don't get the stuff that's wrapped in that, because you've got to cut that to put the AN, how can I explain? So that's going to be threaded onto the hose first, yeah? I'm sure you've done fuel lines before, but when you pull this down and try and zip it up, this will cover the braid, but it won't cover the fibre braid over it, so you'll cut that back. And what a pig of a job to do that. And the amount of little splinters you get off the metal, it's a pain in the backside, but hopefully now I've routed all the rails to where I need them to be, and then I've got to make one more up when the engine's in the car, just so I know where I am. But yeah, like I said, these little jobs take a long time. And I'd just be lazy if I didn't clean this up, wouldn't I? So, oops, let's get some degreaser on here and give it a clean. You may have also noticed I've turned this around, so It's got plenty of feed, there's nothing kinked. I've turned this round so we're not kinking this one. Now we got helper number 2 out on the case. I remembered we've got to get the wheels off. That's wheels off. Purpose of the video, I'm putting a mental reminder in for myself to tighten these up when it's on the ground, because I will forget. The helper's come out and he's had a bath. Oops, better not touching them dirty hands. Once under the car, a little bit of stone chip, basically in a can. I would normally use this kind of stuff, Graveltech 600. But because I'm only touching up the sills and stuff like that where the car's been sitting and cleaned up, I think I might as well do it at this time. I think what I will do to protect the longevity of the car is use a clear wax oil on the sills and underneath. I'm pretty much against that because it's not as aesthetically looking, but this car needs to last. And it's had some questionable welding probably over the years. Solid, strong welding, but like patch welding, where you would have used, where floor panels and replacement stuff wasn't available then. It's structurally solid, it's a good car, but I think to protect it, let's get some like Lano guard maybe, or wax oil. So if you want to sponsor me, chuck it in. Also, I'm going to put some oil in the car today, so I'm going to run some cheap oil through it now for one cycle, drain that out, do a few 100 miles and another oil, and get a good oil. So if you want to sponsor me for oil, or give me a discount code at least, hit me up. And yeah, don't ask, you don't get. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I thought, clean what you can see now, Dan. Don't be so lazy. That will do for now, meaning that I can spray it out again when it's in the car and use the power washer and not have to worry about any like water and ingress getting into like the seals. Yeah, so I'm just waiting on James to come now, fit the clutch flywheel. We've got one more thing to fit the block. We get that on. We've got the wiring injector zoo, and then it's the full installation of all the auxiliaries, and maybe turn the key. Let's see. Stay tuned and watch. It is happening. So it's coming off the stand now. Big things are happening. Slightly cleaner than it was. Next bit of cleaner on this will be in the engine bay with a power washer. But yeah, we're on the stand nearly. Or if you're English and you know I speak nonsense, off the stand. We're already on the stand. It's been a long day, it's been a long journey, and I do not encourage anyone to do an engine forging. Just don't do it. Buy a new car, buy a Mark III Focus RS, tick that box, job done. Pub. Okay, so we just get on the rear main seal. Obviously we got to get it off the stand for that, because you can't put it on without putting the crank in first, and you've got it on a stand, and you've got to put it off a stand. We're going to take the sump off, and now we're going to put the sump back on. Literally then, bell housing, clutch, flywheel, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, as I keep saying, ding, 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 eventually back in the engine bay. I'll turn the music down because I do not want any copyrights because it affects the monetization. But yeah, clutch and flywheel are going on the car. As James pointed out, on the engine, always got to correct me guys. So yeah, clutch and flywheel, a little bit of heat. But yeah, this is the Helix 4-plate paddle clutch. This is the boy. This was not a cheap bit of kit. We've got the heavy duty race plate as well then, which is this one here with the Helix Autosport. That was all custom made. But yeah, special order kind of thing. And we did originally try to go for CG Motorsport, but they wouldn't do it. Long story, blah, 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 yak, yak. But yeah, we're going to get it out of the car, get some Loctite onto the flywheel bolts now. Made the best of a bad situation. We got some crappy ones, we got some good ones. So 6 bolts in there, torqued up, and then we are laughing. Okay, so the clutch is on the car and the release bearing is in the box. Okay, so it's 4:49. This is taking hours. And why is it taking hours? So when I bought the Burton, I bought the Helix clutch from Burton as a special order. It came with an SKF release bearing, okay? And it's very hard to see, but I flick you around. It's bent, it's warped. The clip's just fallen off because it's not sitting straight or true. It doesn't feel very good, so we've put the original Ford bearing back on. You can look, if you look by here, you can see it's warped, well, it's bent. And then the other side, it doesn't sit true. Also, the bearing itself is got a hell of a lot of amount to play on it. So yeah, that's an SKF part. It's even got markings on it as well from the clutch release in a box. But yeah, I'll be contacting Burton and explaining to them that part is pants, and they can either send me out a new one or they can have this back and a refund. That could have caused me catastrophic issues with my gearbox. Luckily we've taken it out and we've identified it now, because that is bent and it shouldn't be. Okay, so after a bit of fiddling, we have lined the box up, the clutch is on, and the engine is ready to be dropped onto a pallet or a dolly, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to wing it into the bay. I do need to, I just realised, fit my thermostat first. I'm going to get my thermostat on with some sealer, and then it is going in the car. So all good in the hood. We've got loads of little bits and stuff left to do now to get in there. Yeah, literally gonna fit this thermostat now, clean my hands up and all that kind of stuff because I'm a bit grubby. And yeah, I'm not going to show you filming that. Let's get it on the car and then let's get it in the bay.
Hours later.
It is nearly in situ. We nearly put ourselves up in fire, as James, I'm sure, will remind me and keep telling me. The starter wire hit the top of a strut and bang, pop, and let's hopefully we haven't burnt anything. But yeah, so we're leveling the engine now. James is busy down there. A few more fucking zippity zacks and the engine will be in. Okay, big update. You will see I'm absolutely stinking. But we have the engine in the bay. Let me flip you around. So yeah, engine's in bay. Unfortunately, I've chipped paint there, I've damaged paint here, got damaged paint there. Bit of a wiggle, jiggle to get her in. It's in nice and tight and solid, ain't going anywhere. All the wiring's right now, so we just literally need to button it up. I've done the belts and the tension, I've got the wheels back, and I've done the hubs. I put the drive shafts in, the torque mount is done, all the mounts are in. Literally, it's a case now of fastening up rad pack, putting in plugs and all that kind of stuff. We nearly caught ourselves on fire because the starter motor wire hit something, and you know, it's like went bang, and so yeah, I got loads of stuff to do. So look, I'm gonna end the video here. I need to drop a car down, get the car off stands, and then look, come back another day, get myself a game plan, write some stuff down. But yeah, hopefully the next video will be a start up, and who knows, maybe some boost. We've hit a few issues and snags and stuff, which we've got to sort out additional now. But you do these things with builds. But hey, hit like, sub, enable notifications, and follow the journey, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Okay, so don't be alarmed, that is condensation. You can see it dripping by there. Whoop, filling the lens up. Let's have a look. Fucking hell.